Hello and welcome, and we seem to have cut Highflyer's head off. But either way, I am Dorjan,
And I am half dead high flyer.
and we are your hosts today for the Intercontinental Clash, where RU faces EU, and the top four teams from both. And there might be a few surprises for many people here who watched the Golden League finals in Kiev because the teams aren't quite what they were.
No, some of them have changed. The GRA teams have changed, respectively. GRA TM has changed to A Gaming, and Red GRA has changed to Rox.KIS.
Indeed. So, in fact, we're going to see Rox.KIS in the very first battle today, and we're going to have Team Dignitas versus Rox.KIS starting hopefully very soon. We know that we're running a little bit behind, and we apologize for that, but it should be starting any moment then. And then the game afterwards will be Mouse Sports versus New Star. Now, that's going to be really interesting, and the reason that's going to be super, super interesting is because New Star have lost a lot of their players.
Yeah, they've changed team, been recruited.
Yes, half
Yeah.
their team have gone to other teams, and I'm really, really interested into who they actually have left. Who will they actually have left? Because right now it's looking like most of their star players, like Diodor and Vorsic, have all disappeared.
Yeah, it's a shame because it was a great team to watch
Definitely.
in the finals of the season one.
Yeah, it was actually a really super team that we really enjoyed watching, and well, I
Yeah.
think everyone else did as well. A shame they got crushed so hard in the finals. However,
Yeah.
then it's Virtus Pro versus A Gaming, and A Gaming is GRA-TM, so that should be a very good match there, and that will be afterwards. And finally, Dragonborns versus Rush.
Rush. Yeah, it's gonna be a great game.
Okay, do you want to go through how this is going to work?
Well, yeah, we have some maps, and well, the match format is the 8 points rule. We're gonna have one match on each map, and yeah, each battle is 10 minutes. And but the way that the maps are chosen is that both teams, almost like the in the finals of the seasons, they have a coin flip, and the captain who wins starts out by eliminating a map, and then another one, the other captain removes a map, and from there on, the winner of the coin flip chooses the first map out of Lakeville, Abbey, Prokhorovka, Mines, Ruinberg, Steps, Cliff, Himmelsdorf, or Ensk. And two of those maps aren't going to be there, so we're going to have one match on each of the 5 remaining maps. Only one map, so it's one match. So it's going to be interesting to see how if they're going to just go with all-out tactics on these maps and go with one set on one tactic, and then going, okay, if it didn't work, then well, maybe the next battle will play a little bit more safe. Maybe I don't. Really interesting in watching this format
Yeah, it's going to be
played
really
out.
different compared to usual because we have many different ways of working. Normally in the Golden League, we have 5 battles on one map, and so we see lineups changing and the teams changing their tactics over time to try and best each other. However, we might be seeing some crazy tactics. It's all lineups, all 5 lineups have to be said before the games begin. So we should
Yeah.
have very quick fire maps because this is the way the prize pool works. Switching over to the scores, each team, when they win, gets $50. They also get 3 points. If it's a draw, they win no dollars and 1 point for their continent. So the continents here, as you see, are Dignitas, Mouse Sports, Virtus Pro, and Mouse Sports for EU. And representing the RU is Rox.KIS, New Star, A Gaming, and Rush. So we'll see at the end how well everyone's doing. And the team who earns the most might not necessarily actually be the one that wins, for example, because of the way that the draw system works. So we have to watch out there for. We can see how much is tallying up as the day goes on. So that should be really good.
Yeah, interesting format, and really makes people or the teams not well just go out for the draw in the end. Now that there are prizes on the line for winning each
Yes.
match.
So hopefully Ensk won't be what it was in the Golden League. If you
No.
didn't watch this, I kid you not, it's actually very entertaining in a very sad way. If you go to the Riveting TV archive on YouTube, there is a 2.5 hour match between, was it Rush and New Star?
Yeah, Russian New Star.
Yeah. and 2.5 hours. Now, it was quite funny because we all get delirious by the end of it, and the sort of phrases that come out. Eventually, the map was abandoned because of the amount of draws, and we hear rumors that it was Rush and New Star both playing for draws. They literally were playing for draws. They didn't want to play ints. They didn't think they could best the other team on ints, so they just kept playing for draws, both of them. So, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Weird decision. Well, Rush had the move up on the west side, and if they didn't meet anyone, camp.
Yes.
That was what was being told on the TeamSpeak server where they were. That was the plan. So.
That's what we heard.
Yep.
It was a 30-second match. If nothing happened in the first 30 seconds, the next 10 minutes will be a camp for draw.
Yep.
Ouch. It was harsh. But we won't be having any of that today because people want their dollars, and if they don't get a win, they don't get any dollars. So that's simple as that. So we have 5 matches on 5 different maps today per set, and each set consists of 1 team from EU versus 1 team of RU. We just showed you the schedule then. Looking into the training room where everyone's gathering, it looks like the teams are starting to get ready now. We have Rox.KIS entering the room, and we already have a lot of Synergy, sorry, not Synergy, Dignitas. They've all been signed these days, so they're changing their name. But Dignitas is in the room already, and I think we're waiting for a couple of guys from Rox.KIS. It looks like the first map is going to be Steps, but we're not entirely sure because we haven't actually got the information for which maps have been banned unless it's going to happen in the chat room. So hopefully if it happens, it'll be in English. If not, Google Translate for the win. Oh, yeah. Right. Any questions for us, please leave them in the chat. We do have moderators who will be having a look for anything and handing us feedback. There is a 10-minute delay, so it will take us a bit of time to respond to you. We will reply immediately, but the immediately is going to be delayed by 10 minutes. So anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes after you ask your question, it may or may not be answered. Otherwise, the the moderators will reply immediately in the chat. So yeah, that's the basics there. Is there anything we're missing?
Nope, doesn't seem like it. Nope, we're just waiting on the remaining players to come into the training room so we can get this underway and see if the map pool is going to be chosen in the chat or if it's already been chosen.
Indeed. So this is a time for you guys to start rooting for your team. This is the English chat, and so although we're the international doesn't include RU, so I think we can be biased here and say, go EU, come on EU. So in the chat, which of your teams is your favorite? I mean, we haven't got Spearwalk as the crew here from DreamHack. We do have, though, Dignitas, Mousesports, Virtus.pro, and Dragon Bonds. So which of those 4 teams are your favorite? Or are you an RU supporter? Are you English speaker, but you don't care for the EU teams? And you might be stoned to death if you admit that in the chat here today, because I believe we're all stout EU supporters. I don't think I can be biased towards any one of the teams, but I gotta say I do like Mousesports, and I think they're a great bunch of guys. But I also really enjoy Dragonborns. That both of those teams, to me, are the guys I want to see doing really well. Dignitas and Virtus.pro, they did obviously very well at DreamHack, so I expect good things from them already. So I'm really rooting for Dragonborns and Mousesports. I feel like they're the slight underdogs, but the German and Polish team there representing, I would say, the only 2 European countries, although we have a multinational, both Virtus.pro and Dignitas, the 2 core of both Mousesports and Dragonborns are in Europe, so that's Poland and Germany. So I feel like I've got a bias towards them for that reason.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see this kind of event because when you're in the seasons, you're rooting for EU teams versus EU teams, and you can't really be, I'm a Team Dignitas guy. That was the first time I ever said Dignitas. I can't really be a Team Dignitas guy if I also like Mousesports, because I can't root for them both when they're fighting against each other. But now it's, you can either pick EU or RU, and I'm really a fan of the RU scene. So I can now root for more than one team to win.
Well, there you go. But for me, it's like it's if you look at any other sport, right? Let's take football, for example, or soccer if you're living in America. You've got these teams that you're fervent about. You're like, I want these teams to win, and you care for them, you want them. But when it hits the international scene, and you're watching international football, you always vote for your country. So it feels like that's what it is here. So I'm assuming the chat's going to absolutely love EU, and they're going to love and want any of the EU teams to win in every match, regardless of skill. So I'm actually interested to see if that is the case here, and if people will be voting for EU every single time, regardless of who it is. Or are they going to pick and choose? Are they going to pick and choose their RU and EU guys?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
So I've just actually seen the stream has started, so I'm actually monitoring to make sure the 10-minute delay is working now, and so I'm laughing at the fact we chopped it off High Flyer's head.
Yep,
so,
me too.
That's good. I'm really happy that that's already been sorted. But yeah, okay, guys. So we are going to check in on what is going on now. We are seeing, yes, both teams are in place. Rox.KIS's last guy has come in, and that's Nuclear. He is into the battle right now. So, okay. What do we expect to see today? What do we expect from these teams? Are we going to see... Are the RU scene that far ahead? Or should I say, is the RU scene that far ahead of the EU? Are we going to see something that's very one-sided? Or do you think the scenes are much closer than people think?
I'm thinking we're going to see a much closer than we are expecting. I was expecting something in the lines of the Russians scene being a little bit further ahead, but I then watched the recaps of DreamHack since I wasn't at home that weekend, and I am not so sure anymore. So this is really going to be interesting to see. And well, you're the esports expert, so yeah, I'm really rooting for this event. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I think this event is a really cool thing to do. If anything, it's just going to show us how far the scenes are apart or how close they are together. And I think apart from, if you exclude all the other scenes, the EU and RU are the closest. And I'm not talking about skill level, I'm talking about style. Both the EU and RUs are very similar. They watch each other, they study each other, so they are very similar. Now, the North American, they have a completely different style. So does the Asian scene. And so does the Chinese scene, and so does the Korean scene. They're all very unique and very different. However, the EU and RU are very similar. And so this battle here is a battle of skill, because the styles aren't different. They're very similar. So I'm expecting this is going to be raw skill between the four teams of each cluster.
Yeah, and well, now 10 minutes in the past, I'm reading a comment writing where it says maybe in the future we can have one big server, but then we wouldn't have these kind of events, which are really incredible to see, cluster versus cluster, strategy versus strategy. So I'm actually hoping for not having one big server.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you can really throw up in the air, isn't it? It's a case of if you had just one scene, and everything was just one big scene, then you'll have a lot more people, there'll be a lot more teams, but it'll also be a bit more cluttered. And with separate scenes, you allow different styles to develop. Different. If you've been watching other sort of events, other sporting events, the styles of the teams are different. Going back to football, a generic sporting event that everyone seems to know about, the Argentinians have a completely different style to the rest of the world. They're very flamboyant. They have very long kicks, and they're very much to the individual style and pizzazz of the individual player. Whereas we're going to see that sort of thing developed in esports in our World of Tanks scene, where the Chinese teams do something completely different. We've seen crazy things happening on the Asian season. I've been watching them, and their top team was beaten recently by in theory, a lesser seeded team by playing Himmelsdorf completely differently. They just had autoloaders. They had 5 AMX 5100s.
Okay.
And they beat a standard lineup of 2 IS-3s, 2 AMX 5100s, and a T69, and 2 T1s. So the team that had won last season in Asia, they took the very standard cookie cutter build from RU/EU, and they lost against a team that picked just pure autoloaders. Now, these teams obviously aren't bad. They won the first season of their Wargaming League, so they're not bad, of course. So this is something I really look forward to, seeing them all do it.
Yeah, it sounds cool. It's actually something I've thought about, but never really thought that anyone would try it, and now they've tried it, and it was really surprising for the team that lost.
Yeah, I think it was. And it was surprising
Yeah.
for me to watch because it was like, this shouldn't work.
This should work. No.
It shouldn't work. And it did. And I
Wait.
don't know if it was overconfidence or just a bad day, but it certainly was a thing. It happened. So that's why I think it's really cool having separate scenes, because you allow different styles to develop, and so the different sort of battles happen. You can't really guess what's going on. So the teams are actually asking if they're ready now. I think that Rox.KIS is the only team that isn't ready. So I want you guys to start making a bit of noise. Who is your team that you want to win? Are we going to see a victory here for Rox.KIS? Or are we going to see the EU Team Dignitas take the victory? In fact, let's people vote. Who are you going to vote for? So, like, who are you going to win? And what you think the score's going to be. So, best out of 5, guys. Is it going to be 5-0, 4-1, 3-2, 2-3, 1-4, or 0-5, or anything in between? Because draws can happen, and I'll consider them as 0. So, here we go. The first game between RU and EU. Let's get into game and have a look at what's going on here. And there we are, into game. From the point of view of the EU Team Dignitas, we have Shanish, Amelie, Dream, Apple, Angel Killer, Garrett, and Stalker UA.
Yeah, and on Rox.KIS we have Art, Blips, FNB, Nuclear, Norigri, Rosses, and Ich zu dir weh. Link as German. Yep. There's a bunch of new guys there. Blips, FNB, and Roxas, and Ich zu dir weh. All new guys to the team. Haven't seen those before.
So we're in the first battle here. It's 0-0 as you can expect. We have EU versus a top RU team. They were actually knocked out in 5th place, was it? In the finals of the Golden League?
I think it was, yeah, Gra. Definitely not the first ones, but they did make it a little bit up the winners, and then went straight into the losers and lost again.
Unfortunately, there's a big line on my mini map. I got rid of that and it kept coming back. So that bug there. And I'm going to try and solve that between battles, but until then, I'll just ignore it. However, let's look at the lineups. RU have gone for 5 AMX 1390s. Now, if you watch the pro tips in the last esports video, we have the EU team taking that strategy and saying, hold on, a WZ and a T69 might actually do us a lot better than having just pure AMX 90s. Remember, the weakness of the AMX 90 is it has to stop and shoot, basically.
Yep, the accuracy is very horrible on the move. It's so atrocious that even the pro players trying to teach us not to do it in any kind of situation.
Yep,
and
so
therefore the WZ132 is a great choice to bring in. And the EU Team Dignitas has taken that. And it's driving around, spotting again and again.
So this is actually where I like to see the scenes merge a little bit. Because what you get is the EU scene being affected by what's happening in the NA scene. Now that's really cool, and that's something that I haven't seen used yet. The WZ132, I don't remember seeing much on the EU scene or the NA scene, so it's really nice to see, not NA, RU, and it's nice to see it coming from the NA scene. Anyway, let's talk about steps. What do we expect to see happening here on steps?
Yeah, as we can see, we have light tanks, so at some point, when one of the teams spots a weakness, they are going to use that speed to get quickly around a flank of the enemy team and then just try and destroy them as fast as possible. Deal as much damage as possible. Now they have the autoloaders. The autoloaders are still favored on this, or well, any kind of map really. So that's what we're going to see. Quick in and out maybe, and then retreat to get that drum loaded once again.
Oh, blind shot there from Rox.KIS Blips. Knowing where the T1s often sit, Garrett goes down with a blind shot. That was very good there, reading the map. And this is where the experience comes in. The absolute experience of just knowing where people sit for the highest advantage. While you can't always play the same strategy, you've got to pick different positions each time. And that was that one going. Now, that was actually a huge risk, really, from the RU team. Using a shot from an MX-90, they have a 40-second reload time, roughly. So if he took that shot and he missed, he would be down to 5 shots unless he wants to reload. And that's 40 seconds where his team is down a tank, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't even, well, he died so fast that we didn't even really get to see if any blind shots were flying past him. It was just a straight on shot, killed. So he could be at less, he could be at 5, we don't know. It's interesting indeed to see if the EU Team Dignitas is going to move on this kill just to have that one shot in the drum advantage. But again, it is just one shot.
Nah, he's would have reloaded at this point. With the shot connecting, they knew the enemy team would just rush across the field. Dignitas wouldn't do such a thing, so they decided instead, hey, they don't have to fire all their shots off. They fired once, they got the kill. Let's move on from there. So that was really good from Rox.KIS. But what we're seeing here is the teams being very cautious because this is a best of 1 on each map. So, you know, you don't have a second chance on the map. You've got to play each map as casually. And there we go, the WZ's advantage showing there, taking pot shots without having to worry about the reload.
Yeah, and you see the T69 getting a shot into the side by, well, I can only guess, but AMX 1390 maybe?
It's got to be an AMX 1390, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but another shot went into the hill, so he's down to 4 shots, unless it was the killer of the T1, then he's down to 3. But he probably reloaded, so he's highly likely down to 4 and reloading right now, since no one is charging, so there's no reason not to be reloading right now.
And here we go, the first battle is going to be commencing, and there's the shot from the WZ. Again, we're going to highlight the advantage of the WZ here. He took the shot there, and they're not down any bullets. There's no autoloaders wasted any shots. That's really good cooperation there from Dignitas, and great communication where they're like, hey, I'll take the shot. You know, don't waste your autoloader shots. I'm going to take it. I'll kill him. And that's really good awareness and cooperation there from Dignitas.
Yep, and the push can continue just as fast as it was before. No one has to reload a single shell.
And yep, so when the engagement happens, as I think, was it Mag said in the pro tip, he said the WZs are always ready for battle. They're always ready because they don't have to wait for reloads. They don't have to be, oh, I'm half ready because I've got half clip. Because I took some blind shots. No, they're always ready. They can engage when and where they please. The camera value is very good on the tank, and so is the damage. It's not as bursty. Obviously, it doesn't have the burst firepower as the AMX 1390s, but it still has good DPM, I think they call it. Damage per minute, because it's not damage per second like the autoloaders have.
No. But yeah, I'm a really big fan of the WZs. I drive them a lot myself, and the WZ-132 is a really good tank. There are several kind of guns you can pick. You can go for the faster firing, less penetration, and a little bit less damage in the 100 millimeters. But then you can choose to go with the 85 millimeter, and that one fires a lot faster, deals around the same amount of damage. And the penetration, well, it's not really needed. 10, 20 more penetration for the AMX 50 or 1390 battles is not really needed. So going with that gun, I'm gonna see here on the WZ, he is rocking the 100 millimeter. So he is going for that extra damage.
And here we go, a confrontation here between Nuclear and Angel Killer, but they decide to back off because he knows that there will be no solo MX-90s. And here we go, the first battle engaging as Blips moves in to cover his teammate, but they're in the open, and it's definitely an advantage for position here for Dignitas as they focus down Nuclear with Armalee and Angel Killer over here. Dream, though, getting focused down on the other side, but it doesn't work out for the RU team as Blips and Nuclear does go down, and there Rox.KIS loses another guy as FNB also goes down. Great positioning here from the EU team. We have Dignitas doing it right. They're splitting up, and look at the circle formation they're in there. This is absolutely fantastic play from them. And Nuri Creed coming in, the captain there from the RU team is coming in and trying to do something, but he's on his own now. The captain didn't go down with the ship. He is the last one in, and there we go. First battle goes to EU.
Yeah. Great to see, and with that adaptive tactic of the WZ, really paid off.
Wow.
Yeah, he was able to, whenever the AMX 1390s ran out of bullets, he could just keep on firing while they were reloading, especially the T69, which only has a 20-second reload until he has 4 shells ready again. So the WZ really paid off here in the end.
And he gets the final kill.
Just look at that. Just look at that aim time, accuracy. It's so good. So good.
Absolutely. Now, let's go into the garage and look at the damage dealt. I want to see how much that WZ did. And it's slightly less than his teammates, but just up there. You know, that is just up there. Let's look at the individual shots. 8 shots fired, 6 connected. So, if we look at the autoloaders who fired, look at them all hitting. Look at this from Dignitas. Apple, 6 shots, 6 connections, 6 damage penetrations. Armalee, 6 shots, 6 hits, 6 penetrations. Dream, 5 shots, 5 hits, 5 penetrations. And only Angel Killer missed because he was able to fire, and wow, what great shooting there.
Yeah, great trigger discipline right there.
But then we have Shanish with his AMX, the T69, because they only have a 20-second reload time for anyone who didn't know. He fired 21 shots, only connecting with 5. He was doing all the blind shooting, and I thought they would do that with the WZ, really.
Yeah, but well, when you can have, when you see that the enemy is trying to blind shot your T1s, you quickly move out of the way. So using an autoloader is a great choice in those kind of blind shot situations. But yeah, 21, 5 hits.
Let's see on the other side, though, what happened here. We have FNB getting only 2 shots off, and he was taken out. Do you know what? I didn't see Art at all. Did you see Art?
No, I think he caught fire at one point.
I really didn't see him. He just got focused down at the end there. He was one before last to go down. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But Nips and Nuclear went down first. And look at the damage there. A lot of shots fired from all over the RU team. Look at the blind shooting they were doing with their autoloaders. Nothing connecting, no damage dealt. That was unexpected. So let's... okay, Dignitas first game. So I'm saying that we are looking nice here. We're seeing the EU teams showing the RU that, hey, we're not to be trifled with. You can't belittle us. We are just as good as you are.
Yep, that's great to see.
At least on snaps.
Yeah, because, well, we've always thought that the RU scene was just bigger. It's bigger, and but also better.
They have more experience, but I think the experience gap is getting less because, think about it, 8.6 changed the game quite a bit, and so some of the other patches. So that experience gap that the teams have in the RU server is getting less because every time the game changes, they have to relearn some things, where the other teams have less to relearn as such. If that makes sense, right?
Kind of. Yeah, it does. It does.
So it's that sort of thing that I think that's going to become less and less of a problem as time goes on, as each of the scenes gains experience in the new way the mechanics work, because World of Tanks is evolving. We're trying to make sure that the game is as esports friendly as possible, removing some of the random number generator in the game, because as we all know, competitions are much tighter when they're controlled by skill and less of randomness. So that's really good. Everything's happening in favor. One thing that I'm concerned about at the moment is the patch has only recently hit. So a lot of the pro teams haven't figured out the artillery yet and how they affect the battle. So I don't think we're going to see many artillery, if any.
No. It's I think it's only going to be the RD specialists who are sticking to it, if we're going to see any, like Eclipse. But then again, when it's just a one match win and then further, then onwards to the next map, you might go with more tanks and have a more of a push tactic. Yeah.
So I don't know, I still feel artillery is powerful. You've got to, in the last few days, last few weeks, since the patch, I've been one-shotted so many times by artillery of my tier. Or even below, the GW, which is his 7 now, that one-shotted my T24, 34. My T34, I was out generating my gold in my tier 8 heavy, and it just landed straight on me, and I went from max health down to like 100. It didn't literally one-shot me, but it might as well have. I was crippled from that point onwards. So, I still think artillery has its place. It's still being discovered, though. It's being rediscovered by the pro players. So I don't feel like we're going to see them today. It's too soon.
You really have to pay a lot more attention to where you think the enemy will be showing up, paying more attention to choke points on the map. Because earlier you could just quickly change position with the RD and start aiming down another path, but not anymore. I've tried it quite a few times now just to make sure it wasn't just me who hadn't been playing RD for quite some time, but RD really changed.
It has changed, and that's why I say that I think it's just going to be a long time before we see it reappearing in the scene. I don't think it's bad, and it's not necessarily worse, but in the pro scene, it was all done on tier points. So because artillery was worth a lot more, you could get away with taking tier 2, tier 3 artillery, which in essence was more like tier 4, tier 5, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 in effectiveness, for less points. So they kind of were cheating in a way. Not the players, but it was like taking artillery saved you points. Where now you really got to take artillery if you really think it's worth it. And remember, artillery have to do damage. One thing I think people forget, especially in the pro scene, that that you have to do pure damage with the artillery. If you're in any other tank, your HP pool is useful. You can take shots for your teammates, you can be a distraction. Artillery can't be that. So they can only do damage. So if artillery isn't top in damage, they haven't been worth their weight in points.
Nope. We saw that plenty of times in on example mines in the season 1 finals of the Golden League. Bison's doing no damage, taking more than 20 shots, still not hitting anything. And even GW Panthers with a big gamble on taking more damage for less tanks on the field, it just didn't pay off. And you really have to be, well, again, disciplined with the trigger and just really be sure about your shot.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So one thing we have to discuss now, the next map is Insk.
Oof, Insk.
Okay. What do we expect to see now that draws are very unlikely because of the prize pool, the way things are working?
Push on the west, east. We saw pushes on the east, but it was very situational on how fast the teams decided to go to the east. Every single time we went to the west, we saw a pretty 50-50 fight between the teams, unless someone made a mistake. Whereas on the east side, the team who got to the best position on the east side got the advantage and got away with the win. So I'm thinking we're going to see west side now that it's only one match, because the buildings are pretty scattered over on the east side, whereas on the west side they're pretty much clumped together.
Actually, it's why I really wanted Spale to have been here. If they had done better at DreamHack, we would have seen them. But unfortunately, in the offline event, they just didn't do very well. But they have, as they explained in one of the old pro tips on the esports show, that they can deal with camps on this map, or at least they claim they can. They say that camping on Insk is actually a way to lose the game, and that if you take control of the battle, you should be able to be victorious. But we hear that clock, and that only means one thing. It's time to go into battle, and let's have a look at what the teams have gone. Activate battle layout. Here we go. On EU, representing the EU cluster is your Team Dignitas with Armalee, Dream, Apple, Angel Killer, Shanish, Gret, and Stalker UA.
Yes, and on Rox.KIS we have Art, FNB, Blips, Nuclear, Norigri, Roxas, Ich2 DMV in his T1. So we're seeing the standard lineup with weight on the RU team only, because on the EU team we have 3 MX5100s, so they're going with the autoloader damage burst tanks.
Now that's actually interesting. They decided to go with an IS-3, considering there's only one tank there and it's designed to be a meat shield. You thought that a KV-5 might have been better if that's the way they're going to play it. The IS-3s work in pairs together based on their ability to hold on a second. Whoa, my screen has gone grey.
Whoa.
Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. There we go. So we see a staggered layout. I'm going to drop my previous point because of that graphic problem.
We're seeing a T69. Norigri already taking a ton of damage. He's down 500 HP already by sitting on that middle and taking 2 shots from Shanish. Oh, and Nuclear takes out the T1, Garrett, in the west side.
There he's sat in the field there. So we are seeing action happening in multiple places. But I was literally about to explain the middle then as things happened. Normally you only see one tank in the middle. And this might be the difference between EU and RU. We're very experienced casting the RU scene. So the things we're predicting are things from the RU scene. And the RU would normally have one T69 in the middle there. As we saw, Norigri, though, was taken out heavily, not killed, but hurt badly by Shanish from the EU. And Shanish had Angel Killer backing him up. So that's actually something that's different from the RU scene.
Yeah, very different. Having backup in the middle really means that the guy who doesn't have backup is going to think twice before sitting still and doing some damage. to the C69, scouting all the way down the middle. And Nurigri obviously missed his shots because no damage was dealt to Shanus.
Yeah, that's a really good advantage. This is actually the point I was making with the KV5. If you're going to have a meat shift, we see Dream taking the blind shots there. I have no idea if he's connected. The advantage of having the KV5 is the HP. And with HP, it sounds like a very simple technical thing, right? More HP, the better, right? But it's something that people underestimate. The fact is that there's a lot of HP missing now from Nurigri, which means that if they advance, if Dignitas advance against Rox.KIS, they can actually do a lot of damage. They can actually focus him down first, and he needs 2 less shots to die than anyone else. So these sort of exchanges early on to whittle away the HP is purely to be able to allow you to focus down or make them scared. And that's what Dignitas are doing here. They're taking charge of the battle by making Rox.KIS scared to move. But here we go, a side shot from Nuclear onto Angel Killer, doing I was about to say 100 damage, a whole lot of damage right into the side there. And was that above or below average for damage?
Just 20 above average there with 420. He's down on 1084, so that was the correct number. Doesn't really matter that much, but the T1 scout from Rox.KIS was taken out, so they're now without one eye in the middle.
Yeah, so we just saw Dream also take out the T1 there from the German name that you can pronounce that I wouldn't dare. But that does mean that Dream is now down a couple of shells. I believe he's fired some off earlier, and that's a 60-second reload time. I've not heard him say that he's reloading either. And normally pro players would always say reloading using the in-game notification, but not always, because they are on TeamSpeak. So they would say, hey guys, I'm reloading. It's not always do that, so we don't know if he is deciding to reload or not.
Exactly. And they know each other, so by voice, of course. So just saying reloading or just by moving is enough of a indication for his teammates to not push or do anything too drastic while he's on the move and reloading.
Yeah. So we have Sanish pushing forward. He's in a very dangerous situation here, because if you see, he's right in the middle. If we go and zoom out here, right? Look where he is. There is nowhere for him to escape. If someone comes at the end of the railway there, they can just open up and he will die. 2 AMX 5100s, 2 IS3s, or even the T69. Bang, 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 bang. He will not get out of that. He is certainly dead. So that is a huge risk. Just because, and I think this is all based on the information that Angel Killer was shot from the right. So Angel Killer's right, which is over there in the... Whoa, Nurigri was spotted though. So Shanish knows there's nothing there. I guess it was a good call, but it looked like it was based on very little information, but what do I know?
Yeah. No. Oh, the IS-3 Angel Killer was side-scraping, so Blips didn't want to bother taking any shots, but now he's taking a whole lot of damage, but Shanus does get taken out.
That was a weird XP exchange now.
Yep.
Wait, it's not over yet. Angel Killer just got hit in the ammo rack, which means that he has to get out of there. And normally, you'll see pro players will not use their repair kit until they're safe. They don't want to have a repeat occurrence. Often in pub games, you hit repair, and guess what? It happens again. The same damage occurs, so you don't want that. So he's going to be moving in and moving before reloading or repairing that. Unless, do you know what? He could have repaired his tracks earlier. He might not have that repair kit.
Yeah, he was side-scraping and got tracked, so... Could be.
It's an awful long time of not using that repair kit. We are seeing the AMX 5100s moving up. But back onto the exchange there. Shanish did die, but he did a lot of damage. So there is a lot of less HP there on the RU team. So I wouldn't rule Dignitas out just yet. There was a lot of HP exchanging going on. So if the focus fire can be done well enough, the EU team can get back in. But there is a gun down, and gun downs are more important than HP. So... this does look bad for Dignitas.
Yeah, but we are seeing Amelie and Abelwao going very, very fast towards the enemy base right now. They know where the enemy are because they have the IS-3 and the AMX-5100. No, yep, AMX-5100 in the middle, spawning down the middle, where Angel Killer actually, or was it Dream who was shot down?
Oh, wait a minute! Whoa! Nuclear now in the middle, and with Art behind him, Armor Lee is separated, and Apple did get shot on the side. Yes, it was Dream who fired earlier to answer your question, but Dream now unloading. He must have reloaded by now. Unloading into Art, but I don't think he'd be able to finish him off. No, he has to turn. You can't really side scrape with the AMX 5100s, not against IS-3s, and we just saw there he got punished for trying it, as Blips does connect his shot on him. So let's forward over there to Armor Lee and see what's going down. Reverse side scraping here, and we have Apple taking some more damage from Rox.KIS FNB.
And he's very much in the open without any cover there if anyone was to peek out.
Oh,
and Dream
wait
gets
a
taken
minute.
out.
Wasn't
shot.
seeing at the back there. We're focusing on the front line, and we did miss that the AMX 5100 got double tapped by the entire enemy team. I think it was a massive alpha strike, but Angel Killer will not be able to put the firepower down. Armor Lee is going to be surrounded, and Apple is also in trouble. It looks like we have the RU team, Rox.KIS, doing very well. The HP sharing here has been great. Their shooting's been great, and Apple does go down, leaving Angel Killer with almost barely one shot left of HP against an IS-3 and Amarek damage to fight 3 tanks, and there he goes down. Apple does get the shot, and that was a bit of a crazy battle. The shots were going everywhere. We couldn't keep everything within one shot of the camera because the shots, it was so staggered. The formation here, we can discuss the formation before the T1 dies. It was like there. Sorry, I'll show you my mouse now. It was all down there. They were crossed like a really diagonal, and I think the disadvantage there for Dignitas, they were just separated. They were spread out.
Yeah, well, they did move up. Like, well, they had 2 in the middle and 2 MX 5100s on the west side. The move up was pretty decent, but they just didn't keep it together in the end. And well, Norigri sacrificed himself by running in, getting tracked. But if he hadn't been tracked, then he would have just dealt with the MX 5100 alone. So they were very much too far ahead. They were too far ahead for that skirmish right there.
Yeah, and you see here that Nuclear did 2,315 damage. The MX T69, sorry, 12 shots, 6 connected, and that was a guy who lost most of his HP really early on. Then the rest of the team did okay. I mean, 8 shots fired, 5 shots fired, 6 shots fired. They did okay. On the other side, though, Dream just wasn't able to connect. He fired 12 shots, 3 of them connecting. And Shanis was only able to get 1 and a bit clips off. He wasn't able to finish off 2 clips. 8 would be 2 full clips. And 5 of them connected, which isn't bad. But it looks like they were mostly side scrape shots because he only did 788 damage, which is pretty small for a T69.
Yeah, it is. With that fast of a reload, you're able to fire a lot more and reload a lot more. So the damage should have been up there for him as well, just like Norigri had his damage up.
So it is 1-1 here, Team Dignitas versus Rox.KIS. First map was Steps, which went to the EU team, and RU took the second map, which is Insk. And I just think I feel that Dignitas didn't play that very well.
No, it was a great way to see Insk being played, even though it was not very well played by Dignitas. But well, just seeing anything other than camping is exciting.
Yeah, I'm actually just reading the chat here. A lot of people saying they're having a bit of problem with the resolutions. The native streaming resolution is 900 plus. That's currently going out at 3,000 kilobits, which is around 3 megs for you guys. So if you have a 3 meg download, you can watch on the 900 plus. The rest of them are hosted by Twitch. If there's a problem with them, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. The 900 plus is the one we supply, and Twitch does the rest. So unfortunately, if you haven't lagged on them, try and refresh your page, clear your cache, try another browser, or I don't know. There's nothing else I can do about that, unfortunately. I have no control over the Twitch servers at all. So I apologize for that.
Yeah, try and refresh, switch resolutions, and just hope for the best. The Twitch servers are having some trouble these days.
They are actually, yeah. They're having quite a few troubles.
Sadly, right now, because this awesome event is going right now. It's a shame, but people are watching, so that's good. Really good. 1,000, we were up on 1,000 straight number right there.
Yeah, my XSplit is actually reporting that there's no one watching, so I don't know if there's a
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
I hope there's not a
XSplit
problem.
is weird. XSplit is weird. They
Oh,
haven't shown anything these last couple streams I've been
oh,
in.
good. So that's good then.
Yep.
It's not just me then.
No,
Oh, I
no.
was worried that we had a problem. Unfortunately, I'm being the director of the producer as well as the host. So unfortunately, there's going to be times where I'm like looking into
What?
one of my monitors, going like, is that right? Is that right? So welcome everybody from the EU. In fact, where are you watching from? Are we having North Americans, Koreans, Asians? Where are you from? Or
Yeah.
where's your country? If you're from Europe, say your country as well, because we know there's so much in
Yeah.
Europe. There's so many different countries. So we want to see where most people are watching. We have Dignitas playing one game, winning one game. Sorry, Rox.KIS winning one game, best out of 5. So no team is out just yet. For every single win is really important. And actually, I'm going to go to the scores. I don't think they're being updated as we go, but the earn points per battle victory, I believe. I'm not sure if it's the entire victory or if it's battle victory, but the entire set, it would give them 3 points, and they win $50 per win. If there's a draw on the map, there is no winnings given out. So if you win 5-0, you win $250. So good.
Yeah. Let's see. And we're actually having a Ward Star. He is watching the Russian stream, but having this one turned on as well. So he's listening to this one. So he's actually giving a view to both streams.
Ah, I see.
Good
So we can
guy,
see
Ward
both the Russian
Star.
teams and the EU teams at the same time. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. That's
Yeah.
just pretty good. I like that solution. So yeah, if you want to watch both the streams, by all means go ahead. If you've got fat pipes and you can download enough to watch both streams, by all means be our guests.
Yes.
But yeah, it's Rox.KIS is Russia itself. I believe it's a Russian-based team. It's not. It's used to be Gra. Used to be Gra, and therefore they've now been signed and they've moved on. And they are Russian-based, not Ukrainian. They're the Russian ones. The A Gaming, is it AIM Gaming? A Gaming are Gra TM, and they're Ukrainian-based. So there we go.
Yeah.
The next map, though, is Runeberg. So take us through Runeberg, High Flyer, sir.
Yeah, Ruinberg, we have the open, well, not so open, there's a bunch of scattered buildings on the east side, but we do have the big open fields where a fast scout can go up and scout the enemies moving up if they're heavy tanks and not all lights. We then have the city parts where we've seen a lot of different tactics. We've seen them sitting all the way down in the southwestern part, and we've seen them sit around the fountain. We've also seen them push all the way up to I think that is D3, that corner where artillery will have a field day, but we're not seeing any artillery these days.
Nope.
Nope, which is great. We're seeing all tanks action. It's awesome. But yeah, we've seen so many different tactics on this map, and even when we're going up to the eastern side with the small scattered buildings, we are seeing heavy confrontations because these teams are practicing where they can sit to exactly have a very nice line of fire down to any part of the map from up there. So it's really like a game of chess up there.
Yeah, I find that there's a lot of movement in the open northeastern field, and less so in the southern side, because the southern side has a lot more cover, but it's
Yeah.
more hilly on the other side, so it's unflat ground here. So we have the light tanks doing routes up to the middle, back down again and hiding, and then you have support fire coming from the eastern side on the hills here, and they're just shooting down. So I find that the north team takes this city and the southern team has like one suicide scout here hiding behind the building trying to stay alive with his support coming from these buildings. So this map isn't symmetrical and it plays out very differently depending on which side you come from.
Yeah, it does. Because we never saw any of the north side team, for instance, push down to the fountain. It was all about the southern team, and we didn't really see anyone push with all their tanks up to the eastern side either. We always saw the north side having the best chance of getting there first. So the sides does have some control of each part of the map, and then we also have the buildings down south where you can sit in hold down positions and protect the cap just in general.
Yeah. I'm watching the end of the last battle. Do you know what? It's quite like Inception right now. I'm watching our stream in 10 minutes past to make sure everything's okay, make sure everything's going well. And I'm enjoying the games again for the second time. I'm thinking like, that's really, oh wait, I'm on stream. So it's like Inception here. I'm watching my stream while I'm doing my stream. Okay. Gotta stop it. Gotta stop it. That's the trouble with being the producer at the same time as being the casting host. So I apologize for, again, that we don't have the dual mini-map. That's actually a really technical setup that I don't have the resources here. I'm going to be trying to improve things over the next few days. Please give feedback via many different methods. We have rivetingtv@gmail.com. We have the comments in the YouTube videos when we post them after this event. So we will do the highlights and we will put them over to YouTube after the event. We will also be watching and monitoring the chat, but that might be missed because there's a lot more fluidity there. It's more fluid. More fluidity? It's more fluid there. But the other ways to get our attention is tweeting at us. And the tweets are below our names. You can see them there. But it's Dorjanar for me and Highfly15. Or Riveting TV if you want to do the company. And to a lesser degree to give feedback for this stream, WG League. I think it's just WG League. Yeah, WG League. So that one's different. However, I do want you guys to be tweeting at us your favorite moments and anything that you think is awesome, any graphics you've done. During the Golden League, we had many people drawing different things, different moments, awesome stuff that they enjoy and like. And if we see anything we like, you'll be called out on stream and you will be famous. Everybody who's watching on the stream and forevermore on YouTube will hear and see your name, because I guess they see your name. My lips will move, and therefore your comment will be immortalized on YouTube.
Immortalized.
Yes. So get on that tweeting, get on those messages, and anything that stands out as really awesome will be read out. There's no prizes given away today. You guys are just here because you're awesome and we love you. I mean, no homo or anything, but well, maybe a little.
A little bit. Well, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yay.
It's okay. Well, we did hear in America, they did vote for equal rights for marriage, I believe, recently. So congratulations to North America, if there's anyone watching, on passing that bill. Anyway, we are going into Runeberg very shortly, and we are seeing the lineups going there. We'll go into game and see these lineups and what they're waiting for.
Yeah.
As we have the AMX 5100 times 2, the AMX 1390, is that times 1?
Yep. T69 and an IS3.
Okay.
2 T1s. It is the European cluster, so it's not what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, okay. Okay, fair enough. They're taking an extra AMX 90 instead of that IS3, and it seems to be that they're doing it a lot. But Povel's just joined. He's actually a substitute here. A substitute here right now, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, Dignitas has taken out Armalee. Oh, Armalee's going out.
Very weird. Peculiar, even.
Peculiar. But Povel's in there now, and he's taking the same tank. So they're not having a lineup. They're having no tank lineup change. They're just subbing out Armalee for Povel.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe that would do better for them in this third game here, as we see a substitute happening for Dignitas. Rox.KIS though, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They do have 7 there, and they're going for 2 T69s, 2 MX90s, and 2 100s and 190. Yeah, I said that wrong. Wait, the battle is starting. I was just about to change out of it, but there we go. We are seeing the battle going. Game number 3 between Dignitas and Rox.KIS, the first set of the EU versus RU. You are watching the Intercontinental Clash, Wargaming.net League, I guess.
Yeah.
Right, we have Dream, Povel, Angel Killer, Shanish, Apple, Jared, and Stalker UA for Team Dignitas representing the EU.
Yeah, and representing the RU are Rox.KIS with Art, Nuclear, Blips, FNB, Nurikri, Roxas, and Ichtua DAV. And we're gonna see here what the EU versus RU tactics on Runeberg are. And that's gonna be very exciting to see here if they play it differently than what we've been seeing in the Season 1 of the Golden League and Season Finals.
Indeed, we are seeing here that the AMXs are going into town, but they only... Wait a minute. One of them isn't. So this is a complete spread out. Do you know what? I can't read these tactics. These tactics are so different to the tactics we're used to seeing in the RU scene. And you know, all these comments saying that I think the EU and RU scenes are so similar, I think we've been proven wrong here. But here we go. The field is already lighting up with fire, and I'm going to try and switch over quickly as Stalker UA moves to the front, and he's surely going to get sniped. What balls that man has, driving right through the open.
Sup, bros?
It's like, whatever.
My God.
I don't mind. Oh, we got to go in a free cam here if we keep getting hidden behind the cameras. But Nurigri's in the middle, going to be sandwiched here. Maybe this is the plan from Dignitas. As they take in the middle, they knew that the RU team would be coming open. There goes Stalker UA. But Rox, wait a minute, they're going to be pushing through. Shanish is actually getting moved upon from the Rox.KIS team. We are seeing a shot go wide though. No, he didn't go wide. He's shooting Art in the background. He gets 2 shots onto him at least. And now, no, it was all 4 shots. He is reloading. And Blips knows this and he moves forward. But we are seeing Dream go down from the AMX. Oh, I keep calling them AMX. The T69s. I call all autoloaders AMXs, and that's a problem.
Yeah, but the AMX did do around 600 damage before the T69 went in for the kill. So Nuclear is doing a great job.
Though as Nuclear comes over the corner, but Nurigri is moving forward. He knows that there is no one with a reload, but Shanish just had his 20 seconds. He has got his 4 shells back. His first shot goes wide though. He will not be able to kill Nurigri, but Apple is there, gets a few more shots off. This is great play from Rox.KIS. They are getting loads of free shots off, and Shanish though is in a lot of trouble as Nurigri might be able to finish him off. But look at this formation here as Rox.KIS, Nuclear, Blips, and Nurigri are ripping apart Dignitas, who will just they shouldn't have let Nurigri get around the back here, as Angel Killer has taken a lot of damage as well. His driver is dead. He used his medipack to get him back in action. He has to move forward. The IS-3 cannot be stranded, but Nurigri's ran out of ammo, will run away to reload. Oh, if that shot had tracked him, he would have gone down. Great shot from Povel there from Dignitas. This is far from over as Apple is still engaging on the far side, and he does get Nurigri. Nurigri was not able to reload, and FNB is in a lot of trouble now. One more shot. It has to be Angel Killer. Angel Killer's got the HP. Going around the back, he cannot miss this. He doesn't. He gets shot from Blips though. Will Blips have 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots? There's Nuclear. HP. He does it, gets the shot, and they're down to just 2 tanks left, both reloading. Apple and Povel running away. This is incredibly close, but Nuclear doesn't have that many shells. I don't think this will be a chase. This is going to be a disengage and re-engagement. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but they're all running away in the open down there. Really careful. They got to be really fast to get around that corner, not to get any shots in the butt there. But Povel gets around the corner, and so does Apple without taking any damage. Yeah. It's a really good engagement because, well, we're left with the 2 similar tanks. Apart from,
oh, here we go. The T1 though has been found. The German name, what does it actually stand for?
I should. Yeah, something with I.
Maybe someone who's from the EU cluster who's German could actually tell us what that means, because surely that's German. That really must be.
It is, yeah.
It could be random. It could be like, you know how English people have Chinese tattoos, even though they don't know exactly what it says. Oh, maybe that's what it is. It's an RU guy saying, hey, German looks awesome. I'm going to write my name in German, and he's got it wrong. So let's find out. Jarrett, though, sacrificing himself to make sure he's an early warning. It's what we call the tripwire. He is tripwiring right now. It's a one-off use thing. He will die, but to let us... Oh! What was that? 5 HP damage from Apple. What? Was that Jared shooting? No, it wasn't Jared shooting him. How did he take 5 damage?
I have no idea. They couldn't have loaded HE. That would be silly. And even though it would have been a lot more damaging.
Did he get rammed by his teammate, I wonder?
Maybe. It could be.
That's the amount of damage you would receive from a little ram. And maybe Rox.KIS Blips is there. If that is the case, that's a lot of information they just gave Dignitas there. Really? Because that was interesting. It was like, I saw a shot go in, but there's no way it would have done 5 damage unless Apple reloaded with HE, but she definitely would not have done, surely.
No. And T1 gets taken out, so they're now without eyes. And so are Rox.KIS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found out what it's called. It's called Do I Hurt You or Did I Hurt You?
Trolling name there. Did I Hurt You?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, there we go. We have an RUT member with Did I Hurt You in German. That definitely reminds me of these sort of English people having Chinese tattoos. It really does, like fire, wind, and water. Just random basic names, but it looks cool because it's not in the native language. That's really cool. Anyway, Apple here is taking a huge risk going into unknown territory. Dignitas, I gotta say, they are really playing this big. They're not playing passive in any way, shape, or form. But I can't say I agree with this, because if Apple is caught in his own, 1, maybe 2 shots he can survive. You know, it's a questionable whether he would definitely survive that first shot or not. So moving into this position, he's not going to fire first. If he's left unseen, I see what they're doing. If he stays here now and he's unseen and Povel spots them, they won't be in cover against Apple.
Nope,
Oh, but wait a minute, he is spotted. He did survive the first shot, but Nuclear does and Blips together shot him, and that's exactly what I was talking about, saying that if they're separated and he's caught and he survives the first shot, he won't survive the second because he has no teammate near him. And there you go. They're in a lot of trouble now. Dignitas down to 1 guy. He's not out of it. We did see that Blips and Nuclear both quite low. So if Povel can handle one of them, find one of them and kill them quickly, he's not out of this. But they're now in a hugely disadvantaged position compared to what they were when they had 2 tanks alive. I think they just threw it away.
Yeah, well, the great positioning of Rox.KIS in the city really did them over, because they were trying to hide from every single direction and they just got shot every single time. And well, luckily they did some damage to them as well, so they went into a 50-50 situation with both an AMX and AMX 1390 and a T60. But it was a good plan, but the T69 was just too clever and too smart and go all the way on the east side and finished off the MX 1390. Yeah, Povel can do this. Remember, he has 300 damage per shell, so he can do, what is that? 6 times, yep, 1800 damage on average.
So he could kill them both if he hits all his shots and he survives. But that's a big if. If, and this is a big if as well, because I've seen many pro teams not do this if they don't stick together. If they don't stick together, then Povel could do this. But if they stick together, I just don't see it happening. But we're going to find out within the next minute. We're going to find out what happens here. Povel won't be playing for a draw. There's no... Well, I mean, he could play for a draw, but there's no point. No team would get the money unless he's being spiteful to say, hey, I don't want the IU team getting the money. I'm going to sit back. But then the cap is totally possible within this time limit.
Yes, it is. Especially if, if they see that no one's coming with around 50% captured. Oh, he's been spotted. 621. That's been hit by both of them at the same time. That was...
Wow. Where was Blips hiding to spot for Nuclear, really?
Flew.
But that was great there, and I'm going to up the point here. Rox.KIS lost the first game, but they've brought it back to 2-1. Dignitas have to win the next game. To keep in this. Strong start from EU, but now the total number of EU/RU wins is now in favor of RU. Let's see if we can figure out what went wrong. Dream firing 3 shots only. Not so good here. 8 shots coming out from Povel, perfectly acceptable. Shanish, I think there's no point looking at the stats actually. I'm not going to look at the stats. We know what went wrong here. Let's discuss that. Why did they split up at the end there? The AMX 1390 away from... Oh, was it the AMX 90 or was it the T69?
AMX 1390.
Yeah, away from his teammate. What possible advantage could that have given them over sticking together?
Well, he was a light tank, so he would have been moving with camo and would have been able to sit in that bush unspotted. But as we saw, the T69 was already there and spotted him immediately almost, and got killed. So yeah, sticking together would have been a much better idea. Maybe going all the way west just to throw up the enemy, and then maybe meeting the T69 together, taking him out. But this decision was a poor one.
Do you know what? There's several options they could have done in that situation. I think they could have moved into, let's say, the cap circle. I know they were defending theirs, but then Rox.KIS knew they were defending their cap circle. So repositioning both your tanks down to the south means the enemy would have to rush back. Rox.KIS would have had to rush back for that. And they would have been totally out of position to be able to go into the cap circle. And then, even if they do come into the cap circle, it's going to be an open fight versus an open fight, with neither team having the advantage. I think that could have been an option, a valid option. I'm not sure how valid that would be, but it was a hard call. One thing I actually want to discuss, what is your opinion, now just be honest, your own opinion, of having commanders in combat tanks? Because we're seeing a difference here. We're seeing the commander here from Stalker UA, which is the Dignitas commander. He's in a T1. But for Narigiri, he's in an AMX 1390, and he's the captain there of Rox.KIS. So
Yeah.
what's your feeling on that? What's your personal feeling on the captain's position?
We've seen different results. We've seen some teams really fail because of it. Luckily, I can't remember his name, so I won't say it. But there was one team where I think it was Strecko, yeah, Strecko. He was in the MX 1390 and got killed off very early in most of the battles. But after that, the team sometimes got their act together, since he didn't have to run around and help as well. So the teams where we're seeing commanders in T1s, we're seeing a lot more movement. We're seeing a lot more thought about where you are. And I think that's really important, having one of the T1s just go to bush and then fully concentrate on commanding your units around the map. So yeah, that's my personal feelings. And
Yeah, I think if the crowd have ever played tank company battles, and if you've ever been the commander, if you pick a combat tank, you've missed so much information. Where, I mean, there's a lot more tanks in a company battle, it's about 11. So if you're in a company battle, you've got 11 things to keep track of. And if you're in a combat tank, you're focusing on your positioning, your side scraping, your aiming. You're missing so much that's going on. You can't react. And I find that teams that have combat tank commanders do worse. That's just my personal opinion. We see Rush, for example. They are with a commander in a T1 every time.
Yep.
Maybe an artillery at most. And they are the world champions for the RU sector. I said world champions. I sound American now. The world championship in RU, and they're the champion. No, the RU champions, and I believe they're the world champions from the last Earl of Steel. I'm not sure, though. I thought it was the other one, Unity, but I distinctly remember Eclipse playing for Unity back then, so I'm not entirely sure if I'm just misremembering, because I was very new to the scene back then, and I think I misremembered. But there you go. These guys are very good. They won the top prize for the Golden League, and they have a T1, where New Star had their commander in a combat tank, and they lost every game in the finals.
Yeah. So,
not conclusive evidence, mind you, of course not. But it does feel like there's a distinct difference in the way. Lead from the front line or lead from the back tent. Kind of like Napoleon versus Genghis Khan.
Yeah, yep. And Genghis Khan went from the losers bracket and came all the way back.
The way around, because Napoleon was never on the front line, was he? He was always in the tents drinking brandy.
Of course.
Other
But
way
Rush
around.
came back. Yeah,
Genghis Khan stormed through, and then it was Napoleon was like, I will learn and come back. So, I don't know. Anyway, the next map is going to be Himmelsdorf. So take us through Himmelsdorf.
Himmelsdorf, the traditional cookie cutter map with the tanks are 2 IS-3s, 2 AMX 5100s, and 2 T69s, or just one. Yeah, just one.
One.
And then 2 T1s.
Yes.
And a T1 going to the hill, one to the west, and a T69 going with the T1 on the hill. AMX 5100s either going slowly up the hill to support if they see that there's no one up there at all.
Yeah.
And the IS-3s protect in the middle.
Yeah, and I've seen this both on EU and RU, so I do expect this to be exactly the same for both teams. Now, they might not play them up exactly like that because this is a best of one. So crazy tactics on Himmelsdorf have won before, like charging everyone through the middle. Because by the time the enemy gets into position, they've got guys halfway up the hill. Both the IS-3s are caught off guard. Lose both your IS-3s from the middle charge. Then you're in a good position to just take out the enemy AMXs as they come back. So I've seen crazy tactics work on Himmelsdorf over the standard. And the standard is used for best of 5s or best of 3s because you can adapt. And if the enemies do a crazy tactic, you can adapt to it. And it's very flexible. However, I have seen some crazy things happening. But it is normally about the AMX 5100s, because the AMX 5100s, they keep unseen. And they can move to one flank, move to another, push with the IS-3s, push on the hill. They're the guys who seem to be what I like to call the playmakers. So, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, let's see what is going on here. Are they ready to go? But let's have a look at the schedule for the rest of the day. Do you wish to go through what's happening today, High Flyer Sir?
Yes. Right now we are seeing Team Dignitas versus Rox.KIS, and later on we'll have Mouse Sports versus New Star. We are a little behind on schedule, so it'll be starting as soon as we'll end this set of 5 maps. And after that we have Virtus Pro versus A Gaming, and after that we have Dragonborns versus Rush with their crab logo, even though they burned their jerseys and then proceeded to win on the final day.
We have a story. For anyone who's not watched the Golden League, Rush played abysmally on the second day and on the third day, where they almost got knocked out on the third day completely. They lost, obviously, in the second day, and the third day, they almost lost. But they went ahead and got rid of their jerseys. They had teams with the crab, and apparently, rumor has it, that they did a ritual to burn the demons. I'm joking, they're probably not. But we're going to say this anyway for epicness, right? Yeah, they had a ritual to burn the demons associated with Krabby, their new clan. And they burnt them, and then they came back to rip everyone apart. Gratien, Gra, and New Star. Flawless victory all the way to win after burning the crab. So, yep. I don't know. By the way, Gratien is A Gaming, and yes. Gra is Rox.KIS. So they're here today, the team that Rush did rip apart after burning their jerseys.
Yes, they are here. 2 teams. That's pretty funny. 2 teams changing names just so nobody will recognize them here in the...
That's what sponsors do for you. Sometimes sponsors allow you to keep your name, but very rare. If you look at the EU team, every one of them are... In fact, almost everyone here is signed. New Star and Rush aren't, but everyone else are. So 6 out of 8 are signed. So that's really looking good for our scene. Everyone should feel proud that the pro side of esports for World of Tanks is doing so well. But anyway, shall we go into game, sir?
We shall.
Okay. For Team Dignitas, we have Armalee, Apple, Povu, Angel Killer, Shanish, Scarrat, and Stalker UA.
Yeah, and for Rox.KIS, we have Art, FNB, Blips, Nuclear, Norigri, a new player, Boroda, Murasora, and Roxas.
So we have seen a sub. Who did he sub out for?
Yeah, he subbed out, Ich.
Yes, of course, the German name. I will hurt you.
I heard you, yep.
Yes, he's gone. So there we go. There has been a sub. But look at the team lineups, guys. There is that classic difference.
Yep.
Again, these 2 teams always have one difference. An extra AMX 5100 instead of the IS-3. So I'm not entirely sure what's going to go down here.
No, me neither. 3 of them having to be ready to move all over the map. That's a big difference from having 2 IS-3s in the middle, protecting the middle. So yeah, we're going to see what's happening here. One of them is following Shanis and Jared going up the hill. So they are going to have one MX-5100 who stays unspotted up there, or doesn't stay unspotted, because showing one of them might throw off the enemy, thinking they can go one direction, and then they find 2 MX-5100s.
Yeah, this is incredibly weird again for us. This is non-cookie cutter for RU. RU would have the AMX 5100s together, and they did, as we spotted in the middle, both the IS-3s. Wow, that's a massive mistake there from the RU team. Rox.KIS has just had his AMX 5100 spotted on the far side by the T1. That's absolutely huge. As we said beforehand, that the EU team now knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And we're seeing the push here at the top because of it.
Yeah, because they only have 2 MX 5100s, so they're pretty comfortable. And there's only one who's able to be on the east side now on the hill.
And we are seeing Armalee pushing up forward. He has been spotted now with Shanish, and there's not been a favourable HP exchange here from Dignitas to Rox.KIS. So they're not taking advantage of the situation because, and I'm going to stress this, that the AMX 5100s aren't together. And because the AMX 5100s aren't together, they are unable to push here together. And Rox.KIS brother Murazora is able to do this. Look what he's doing. He's trying to spot Angel Killer, and Angel Killer has received a shot from the IS-3s. And I do find that the northern position has a worse position when it comes to exchanging in the middle there. Whenever I've practiced on this map with my team, there's always the IS-3s from the southern side win. almost guaranteed. That's just me, though. I don't know if it's just me being lucky or something, but I find that the southern position does have the advantage there.
Yeah, I haven't really been practicing on Himmelsdorf that much. I played one Clan Wars on it, but that was tier 10, so that's played very differently.
Yes, of course. And it's 15 versus 15. But
Yep.
Shanish there does take out the T1, and it's a 20-second reload time for the T69, so he will be able to reload before anything happens. However, this is, I don't know, a mistake from Dignitas. They saw where the MX 5100s were and didn't do anything. And I think they couldn't do anything because of their formation. Now the AMX 5100s could be anywhere again. It's been far too long since they spotted anything, so they can't rely on that information they had beforehand. Just no way.
Yeah, and we're seeing Amelie sitting here and trying to fake out if anyone should move up and scout and check out if the MX 5100 of his is already up there. But he is down on this road and waiting on the southern side of the east to be secured, and there it is, and he's moving forward now. And Urigri is spotted there on the end by Jarrett, being very careful there.
He's got to be careful. Now, will we see, now this is the question, will we see them falling back with their AMX 5100s, or will they do a thrust with their IS-3s and AMX 5100s? They have two options. Bring back some forces to stop this push and play here, or they could take their forces and move through many different avenues. They should be spotted every way, but the AMX 5100 is set far. There we go. They have come this way, and we have FNB spotted by Garrett. Great play, actually. Garrett has been doing amazingly well here for Dignitas. He's been able to spot both Nurigri and FNB without any trouble, and that's really, really good.
Yeah, and well, Amelie is once again, well, he looks very uncertain on what to do right now. He's went down the hill, he's going up again now, and even going down the hill, he's like, I'm stopping, I don't really know. Nope, he stopped now again. I don't know if they know what to do right
Wait
now.
a minute now, this is huge news. The AMS 5100s are split up for Rox.KIS. We've just spotted that the K1 has a AMX 5100 and there is a MS 5100 in the east. So that does mean there's a similar formation going on here. They're the AMX 5100, that is, who's driving it right now? That's Povel. Povel's position is actually fine now because both IS-3s in the middle for Rox.KIS. One AMX 5100 is at K1 and one is at J9. So the formation on both teams have adapted to each other, and we're seeing here that Rox.KIS are not playing super standard because of their opponents not playing standard.
Nope, it's very, yeah, it's a tactic we've never seen before. Something has happened at this point in almost every other Himmelsdorf battle when the 5100s has been spotted this early. But yeah, no one is sure about what's really going on.
Gorat again spotting Nuclear. This guy is amazing. He in a T1 is making such a difference to this battle already.
Yeah, it's very nice of him. He has a great position up there with the broken fence, or what's it called? It's not really fence, it's a wall.
I know what you mean.
It's made of stone. Yeah, and the 5100 is spotted down south once again by Stalker.
In fact, both Stalker and Gerard, man of the matches so far. If Dignitas win, it's because of these guys.
Yep, definitely. Great spotting job right there for both of these T1s. And I've actually seen a couple of questions about why T1s, and we have the answer right here. So little HP, so cheap, but so valuable. And then we see Rox is moving up, but...
Wait, Nurigri has totally repositioned. This is a surprise as he comes around the other side. And here we go. On the map, you see all the movement happening as the team repositions immediately. But Stalker now has to decide what he's got to do to survive. He now knows he's getting utterly surrounded. Art is coming around the back. The best thing he can do right now if he can't survive is to die to an autoloader. Because if he dies to an autoloader, that means they have to reload or be down. But Art's got to try for the ram kill. And he successfully gets it. Great use of your armor, your weight, sorry, as the 5100 is actually a lot heavier than people give it, you know.
Yeah, it's really heavier than most people think. And we see they know exactly, well, there's an all-out push right now, and everybody's coming home to the east or western side. Angel Killer putting in a shell into Blips' side there, and he's retreating, but here is Amelie with a full clip. Gotta watch out now, Blips. He's gotta start that side scraping. But he's in the
But
open.
he is returned fire. They are able to focus him down. Blips does go down. Armely doing several shots, but Armely goes on fire, but he doesn't burn for long. He must. Oh, ammo rack! We have FMB go down immediately. He pokes out, and that's slam in his face and blown up. That's disastrous there for Rox.KIS, but great for EU as we now have Dignitas having them on the run, and we're seeing Angel Killer and Apple move forward. They're going to take them out with ease. Angel Killer coming around the back here. He's going to shoot him in the face, but wait a minute. Nurigri is still there and is able to do some punishment to Angel Killer. Angel Killer could go down. 2 more shots from Nurigri. Is Povo able to kill him first, though? Yes, he is. It looks like he didn't actually have all 4 shots. Nurigri was not able to finish him off, and it looks like it's going to be an absolute destruction of Rox.KIS. But Nuclear's at max health. That's really bad of him. He must have been out of position. If an IS-3 is at max health and his entire team is dead, he is out of position. But hey, look at how many one-shots there are. Armely, Angel Killer, Apple, all 1 shot away. They have to wait for Povo. Povo has to get in the front, and then they have to surround him and go in together. If they do this wrong, they could still lose. Very unlikely, but it has happened even in the pro level. So Nuclear could do this. He needs to move back and kill Apple. Apple is on his own. Move back and kill Apple, Nuclear. Move back and kill Apple, and he's read the mines. He's going backward. What, is his turret damaged? His turret's damaged. He's not able to do anything. What's going on?
He got repaired there.
There it is. There he gets him that last. But that's far too late. Too little too late. As Povo and the rest of his team come around the corner. He might get another shot off. He kills Armor Lee. That would look really good on the scoreboard compared to what it would be. But no, he's just going to have to shoot into Povo and die. And they burn. And they burn. There we go. EU take the game. So it's now 2-all. Oh, yes. Down to the 5th game. Oh, yes.
So that ammo rack. 1400 damage. Pop.
Pop.
Go the weasel.
Yeah, pop goes the AMX. And wow, it's just hits received. Potential damage received was 600. 2 shots. 2 shots and he blew up.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Wow.
FMB.
Great shooting there, but look at Apple.
Yeah.
0 damage.
Yeah.
But it didn't need it because 0 damage off him. Amarak made up for it. It looked really bad for Dignitas at one point. Looking just at the stats, it looked really bad for them. Apple dying without doing anything. I say without doing anything, without doing much. And yeah, crazy. Yeah, they came out with a victory, so hurrah, huzzah, and all that. So now we see 2-2 on the first game. The last map will be Mines. Favorite map for many teams, many EU teams I talk to say that Mines is their favorite map. In fact, I enjoy Mines playing it because it's one of these maps that everyone knows. However, some other people say that Mines is too campy. What's your take on it?
Well, it's very versatile. You can do so many things with it. But if you do get into a favorable position, you are prone to camping because, well, if no one goes for the hill, then both teams are scared to go to the hill until it's been proven that no one is even guarding the hill, and then people move up there, or they wait for a push with all tanks going up there and deleting a tank from the hill.
Erasing. Look at the eraser.
Yep.
I'm getting rid of you.
Yeah, just completely killing the one tank holding the hill up there, unless he, of course, runs away and just drives down the hill. But so many tactics. You can go down the east side, west side, middle. There are some great tactics, and we've seen some great plays, especially from New Star, which went all the way to the finals. They really impressed on Mines after we had seen a ton of draws on Mines with Rush, and oh, that team. Can't remember the matchup, but it was definitely Rush and Hexecutor sitting down south with very low HP and getting one shot by a GW Panther, really taking him out of the game.
It was Rampage, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jumped off the hill.
Yep,
They were crazy. I love Rampage. They were really good fun to watch.
Yeah. But yeah.
In fact, that's on
like
YouTube,
Mines.
isn't it? If you guys haven't seen that match, it was the very first round of the Golden League on YouTube. So go to the Riveting TV archive when tonight or whenever you're free next, and have a look at that match. I think it was Rage, which is Rampage, versus someone. It's the only match with Rampage in it on the first map, and they pull out, what was it, KV1S, a KV1S and a GW Panther on different matches. It was good fun. It was really good watching. So I would definitely go and have a look. And they won. Yeah, they did win. It was really good.
Yeah.
There. Wow. Anyway, so we're seeing the teams go there, and they are. There's no substitutions. It looks like the final substitutions has happened. This is the next and final map now. Let's have a look at the scores as they stand. The winnings for both teams is 100. We haven't had the full update yet for Dignitas, but it is 100 winnings for both teams. And we'll see soon who walks away with the extra 50 points. $50, sorry.
$50.
It's not points, it's dollars. It's real money. It's like betting. It's like actual betting. You're not playing with points here. No, we're playing with money.
Playing with money.
Money. Makes us funny.
Fun.
Here's the schedule, though.
Tanks.
For the Wargaming.net League, Battle of the Continental Leagues. Oh, yes. We have for RU, Rox.KIS, New Star, A Gaming and Rush, and for EU, Dignitas, Mousesports, Virtus Pros, and Dragonborns. And I'm super pumped. And I feel because we have an international stream, we're allowed to be biased. And I'm going for the EU. Come on, Dignitas. Yeah.
I'm going with the RU cluster, because those are the people I like.
Boo!
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 Boo you! Boo you!
Everyone boo High Flyer. Boo High Flyer if you support the EU, and cheer for High Flyer if you support RU on this international stream. And I tell you, this international stream covers the North Americans. Hello, North America. And hello, ice cream truck that just drives past outside.
Ooh, creepy clown ice cream truck.
That's the ice cream truck in England. That's what they sound like. Anyway, from North America. Hello, North America. Hello, Asia. If you're from Asia, hello, Asia. Korea. Hello, Korea. China. I don't believe we have any Chinese here based on the fact that they don't have any English support over there. But they might be if you're here from Asia. Congratulations. I'm not sure if they can have Twitch, actually. That's the thing. Anyway. Oh. And of course, EU, because EU is the biggest cluster out of the ones I just listed. And welcome. Yes. And I hope you're here to support your teammates. I say teammates, your pro teams, your pro players.
We're
yours.
One big team.
Yours. Yours. So give your support for your team, Dignitas or Rox.KIS, or to be fair, whoever you want to see winning the tournament. Remember, it is a team. So all 4 teams are playing on the same team, but it doesn't mean you can't hope that one of your teams comes with the most points, brings the biggest weight to the EU team, because this is a 4 versus 4 team mashup. This is not a, oh, I want Dignitas to win over Mousesports. No, they're together, they're allied. This is the first and probably only time you'll see them this year playing as a team representing the EU. Do you know what? If this is hugely popular and you guys enjoy it, it might happen again. You never know. So spread the news on Reddit, Twitter, or Facebook and get people watching, because if it's good and you like it, then we'll do more of it. So nice.
Yes, we will.
Let's see if we can check Twitter. I want to see if there's anyone tweeting me. I want to read out some tweets. And let's see if I'm receiving any here. Let's see. And not many people were here when I said about it. Guys, tweet at me at Dorjanar on Twitter, and I'll read out some of you. If you tweet at Highflyer, he'll read some out for you guys. So, that's the sort of thing we're going to be doing, and here we are. No one from me, but no one loves me.
Yeah, we got to remember that mine is the Rising Sun at Twitter.
Oh, of course, sorry.
Yes.
You always use one or the other. I'm never entirely sure which one you're using. And I'll get messages handed to me from the moderators if you guys decide to tweet at Riveting TV or WG League, at WG League. So by all means, tweet any of those places. And I'm going to try and make sure my browsers have them all up so I can find your messages and read them out. Remember, you don't get any gold for this. You just get a mention on the stream in front of everybody and immortalized on our YouTube archive. So yeah, you never know. And remember, we use this stuff. We really do. In all these sort of stuff that we do.
Yes.
We do. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into battle. Enough of us talking. Into battle for the 5th game. Dignitas versus Rox.KIS. This is the decider. We have Shanis, Poval, Armalee. Armalee's back. Dream, Apple, Angel, and Stalker UA.
Yeah, and for Rox.KIS we have Blips, FNB. Oh, my score removed. FNB, Nuclear, Art, Nurigri, Boroda, and Roxas.
Wow.
And we saw a lot of pinging going down on the middle, so
It's going to be a rush tactic. We do have the extra T69 for the Rox.KIS. They've gone for almost identical lineups. The only difference is an AMX-90 over a T69, but this is dangerous. Pushing with the AMX-1390s because they are not reloaded during this confrontation, but the T69s are. But luckily it seems like the T69s aren't supporting their teammates here, and it looks like it will be instead a non-starter. Wait, Povel is moving forward. He's going for the shot. He gets it. He hits with Narigri, but he does not get hit back. That's a great shot there from him. I thought it was too risky. I thought there's no way he'll do this.
Yeah, but the gun depression proves useful once again, and Narigri hammers his face into that rock, gain that extra bonus for that, while he's running away.
Apple spots Art trying to sneak round the back, and he immediately goes back. Stalker UA is in a great position to cover this side. There is a huge weakness here, though, I would say. They can't push too far without the T1 here spotting them, but there is nothing really over on this side. We normally see traditionally like a AMX-90 holding that side, but we are seeing some damage here going against Shanish and Povel. It looks like the HP has been restored in favor of Rox.KIS, as one shot connects with both Shanish and Povel.
Yeah, and Povel really, he also showed some balls of steel going up there. He just went up there. He didn't care. There could be someone sniping from the small hills down in the northern base, but nope. Just strolled all the way up there. Let's look at the
attack angle here for Apple as he takes out the T1. But deciding he hasn't marked that he's reloading, and I'm surprised. He fired at least twice, I heard. We do see other teammates reloading here. And Nuclear looks like he might wanted to take advantage of the reloading here, but Dream and Shanish are not reloading. They are sitting guards, and I'm liking this formation. Shanish in his T69 is able to put down any firepower with a much shorter reload time, but Dream being the forward scout, and there is no Bisons. Back in 8.5, there would be Bisons here bombarding these sort of areas, and so Mines is going to play very differently.
Yes, it is, but we got to remember, this is the final game of the first set, so on Mines, will you fight for a well, you gotta fight for prize money, and you gotta fight for that 1 point for your continent, so you can't go down in a draw. It can, but
you don't want it to be 1 point, you want it to be 3 points. You don't want, for example, if you're a Dignitas, you want that $50 and you want that 3 points for EU. It's all about pride here, guys, and there's nothing more important than pride, is there?
No. Not in tanks.
Not in tanks.
No.
Maybe gold.
Yeah,
no. Pride is more valuable than gold.
Yeah, you see Apple, he's reloading, and I don't know if he maybe shot the T1 up there up north, but yeah, going for full clip instead of being ready for anything moving. Yeah, it's a very, very careful strategy. Both of them are going with the map. The middle have two, well, T69 and an AMX 1390 sitting at the entrance, guarding that one if anything should move up. And Shanish takes out the other T1 of Rox.KIS. So both eyes now down for Rox.KIS. That's really bad.
Shanish great shooting there across there. If we want to see the angle that he did, oh wait a minute, he's getting hit there. Was that Nuclear? Wow, what a shot!
That was a quick snapshot.
That was crazy. That was actually really surprising. I was there looking the other way and he gets hit and he was barely out. That shot, I want to see where it connected to actually. Can we see? There it is. Wow, look at that.
To the face?
No, the driver's, the driver's hatch. It clipped the top of the driver's hatch. Crazy. Great shooting for wherever that came from.
Very nice, yeah. Oh, I had hoped for straight in the face. But no.
Well, straight in the face of the side of the head. Straight to the side of the head! Doesn't
straight in the side of the head.
Yep. Side of the head. Snapshot. Whip shot. We gotta think of a name for when you get shot on the side of the head, because it's like a whip shot or something. I don't know.
Whip shot.
Makes your head go whoosh, out. Temple shot. Has to be one syllable though. Headshot sounds great because it's one syllable. Head shot. And then, but then you gotta go temple shot. No, it doesn't work. Side of their head shot. No, it doesn't work. And side shot sounds too boring.
Yeah, it's just the side of the tank. Well, we'll think of something wonderful.
If you have any suggestions, say so in the chat or tweet at us.
Yep.
Or even mention on Facebook. In fact, on Riveting TV, we reply to that very often, and if you can see that, we post there in every language. I know there's a problem with the Wargaming League because that only gets posted in English. So if you don't speak English necessarily, you can definitely see everything that goes on the Riveting TV Facebook as well. So by all means, go there and let us know what you're thinking. Headshot, face shot, rear shot. I would say ass shot, but I'm not sure if that would be appropriate for PG-13.
Rear shot. That's butt shot.
Butt shot.
No. Butt shot.
Butt shot.
He's been butt shot.
But anyway, we're seeing here a flanking maneuver. Now, we did see this early in the days of the Golden League. Every flanking maneuver that went here failed hard.
Very hard.
We saw many teams try this early on in the league, and it didn't work out for them, but they were not Dignitas, so...
Nope, and it's not working this time either. Amelie takes a shot straight in the side. It was not a butt shot.
And Art is there, taking no damage, and able to do it. But look at this from Stalker UA, clearing away this destructible terrain for his teammates. Great use of that T1 there.
Yep, great use. Creating some more view. And again, Apple takes another shot. They're really just being very, very cautious with taking their shots, making sure that they connect whenever they spotted the EU team.
Yeah, the Rox.KIS is actually gaining that advantage. They've lost 2 of their T1s, but instead of using their T1s to spot the EU Team Dignitas, aren't doing the same, and therefore they're taking too much damage on their combat tanks. And this is actually a problem that Rush have. They don't seem to want to push forward their T1s and lose their T1s. They would rather lose HP on their combat tanks, and I'm not sure that's right. I feel that you push forward your T1, lose your T1, and then kill one of the enemy combat tanks. Like Spell said in their pro tip in Esports 4, that's what you do. You know, it's always worth losing a T1 to kill an enemy combat tank.
Yes, it definitely is. Because that T1, after all, it is only eyes. Important eyes, but if you can take out an enemy gun, so much more important. But yeah, we're seeing the AMX 1390s. We don't have any 50s here, Christian. One of the apples are going... one of the apples? Apple is going into the base.
Okay. Restart.
No, restart. Apple is going all the way south, while Amelie is going into the center and being far away from the sights of the island.
Well, they are repositioned completely, but look at the clock. 2 minutes 15 left. We're not sure what's going to happen here. One team has to make a move. I mean, are they going to accept that both teams will take no money home and the first match be a draw between EU and RU? It'd be quite a statement, though, wouldn't it? Saying that EU and RU are so close in skill that the first match is a draw. So yeah, you're getting mass booed, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I've noticed that, but yeah, I feed on booze.
Don't vote for RU on an EU stream, sir.
No, I probably shouldn't. But I did.
But you did. The amount of Fs you give right now, sir, is about 0. But we have nothing going on. They got 1 minute 30 left. There is the 8-point rule in this. Are we going to see an 8-point rule work? This is the way it works, guys. At the last minute of the game, you charge forward, you focus down fire, you take out 1 or 2 of the enemy tanks. Try not to lose anyone of your own. That way you win with 8 points. We might be seeing that happening here for both these teams. I don't think either team are confident enough for this clash to happen. So this must go down. They wouldn't accept a full draw, would they? With $50 on the line and 2 points for their cluster. Will they be just sitting back, or will they go for I just can't see.
Nope.
Their sponsor wouldn't want them to either. I mean, Rox.KIS and Dignitas won't want to draw here either. They want their teams to win. And I wouldn't say that their sponsor would want them to do this draw either. So come on, guys. Cheer for the team. Dignitas, make a move. Rox.KIS, do your play. Something is going to happen in the next 30 seconds. Keep your eyes open. Don't blink, because whatever's going to happen is going to happen quick. And Pova moves forward first. Is receiving damage here. He's going to go down. Rox.KIS does take him down. Pova goes down, but they're not far enough in the lead here. If they take out Amelie, though, they will be in the lead. He goes back, and he is not going down. He might go go down. Wait a minute. Blips and Nuclear might take Armalee down. But in the meantime, the T69 from FNB does go down and Armalee survives. This could be enough. They have the T1s. They have the T1s. 3, 2, 1. And it is.
A draw.
No, it is a draw. No, I was wrong. Total draw.
Yeah.
I thought
close,
because
so
they had the
close.
extra 8 points, they don't have the extra 8 points. It's a total draw. It's a 2-0 victory. Oh, I thought they could get it. I'm gutted now. I'm not even going to look at the scores. I'm just going to freaking flip the table. Oof. Damn it.
Yep.
Damn it.
Send it down again.
Damn it. I thought with the extra 2-1s, they could actually focus down that extra guy. And they had to be away. Remember, it had to be Rox.KIS 2 kills ahead to get the win. Whatever. Draw.
Yep. Sadly. But yeah, Armalee got away there just in time. Nuclear was just too slow getting up that hill and firing at the same target, which was Armalee, and got away.
Indeed it was. So if we look at the scores here, it was 1 point each. I will actually message the person to do the update. Fifth game was a draw. Wow, okay, so they didn't want the dollars. We're now seeing 1 point for EU, 1 point for RU. I can't tell whether this is a disappointment, a letdown, or just proof of how close these teams are in EU and RU. However, something is ringing and stinging with me. Dignitas are the champion of EU and Gra were 4th place for RU. That kind of stings.
Yeah, that must sting a little bit.
EU must have been counting on this win. The worst team in theory versus the best team in theory, and it was a draw. That must sting for EU. I'm kind of felt like, ouch, that was a bit harsh for EU because that's like Rush losing against Dragon Balls.
Yeah, that would be an upset as well.
Yeah, I mean, I want that to happen. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's just that the expected result would be to Rush to win, and yes, I think all I can say there. So we're going to go for a quick break. As you see there, the points is up, so I can update everything that we need update. Get some drinks, go to the toilet, and we'll be back within probably 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Because we are behind schedule. The next game is meant to be starting,
2 hours ago?
An hour ago. Yeah, 53 minutes ago the next game is meant to start. So we're an hour behind schedule. I'm expecting the next one to start then within 10 minutes. So this is the Continental Battle, the Intercontinental Battle between EU and RU Wargaming.net League. We're your hosts, Dorjan.
And Highfly 15.
And we will see you after the break. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum.